If you want to know how I lost my tooth, keep watching, because I'm going to tell you. Hi friends, I hope everybody is doing well. This is sort of weird, the lighting, because it's 7:44 and all the other YouTube videos I have filmed to date have been like during the day. So I have like a really weird setup here with my lights to make it look okay. So I hope it does. So some of you guys, I don't know how many of you have followed me here from TikTok, but I occasionally will show people that I'm missing a tooth. And so if you don't know that, then now you do. You know, I get so many compliments. There's so many kind people that are always showering me with affection, I guess. And I feel like I had like ugly duck syndrome, you know, growing up. My confidence sort of grew as I got older, especially as, you know, I became a mom. You know, you just stop caring about what other people think. And at the end of the day, I feel like being a genuine person is like the most valuable thing that you can do. I don't understand people that they curate this like persona that they have to, you know, embody every time they perform, I guess. You know, sometimes I do some like light acting, but for the most part, what you see is what you get. Like, I don't have the energy. I could like, I have the creativity to like act as somebody else, but it's just too much work. So I'm rambling. I'm gonna try and keep this video on the shorter side because my last video was so fucking long. So yeah, let me show you here what you want to see. So yeah, I am missing my front. This is my right tooth. I think it's called tooth number 2, because each tooth has a number. Where do I begin? I don't want to tell the story with it out, although I feel like I should. So the first thing I'll talk about is this lovely little mouthpiece. Its technical term, I think, is a flipper or a partial, I guess. It's literally a piece of resin, I guess. I don't really know what they make these out of, with a tooth on it. And this is what I wear every day. I mean, if I have a day home where I'm not running errands or needing to go places, I will just leave it out. It's funny because after days like that where I leave it out and I try to put it back in, like my mouth will kind of change in shape, or so, I'm not really sure what happens, but this will be like super snug and uncomfortable for the first like 15 minutes of wear, but then it like settles in. But yeah, I keep this in when I eat, when I drink. And the only time I take it out is if I sleep, because I've seen, I don't remember which, I think it was like an Instagram page that I follow where somebody died because they choked on their dentures. So I don't want to, I'm not a deep sleeper, so I'm sure I'd wake up if it like fell out, but I don't even want to mess with it. So I take it out every night. You should do that anyway. You shouldn't sleep with it in. And I put it in, I have a little glass cup thing that I put it in with a denture cleaner, and that like kills all the bacteria and sterilizes it, I guess, for the next day. And I do like brush it with my toothbrush. So I'm gonna put it back in. But yeah, it's so funny because when I show people, they're like, oh my God, I never knew. I'm like, good, I don't want you to know. Like, it's not, I don't want it to be known that I'm missing a tooth. I will let you know on my terms. So the way that I lost it, so I'll do TikTok lives a lot and I'll take it out. Or some people that know that I'm missing it will be like, take your tooth out. And I'm always doing TikTok lives while I'm eating food. And I'm like, I don't want to take it out now, it's kind of gross, but sometimes I will. But I figured I'd make a video, so if somebody asks, I can be like, just check out my YouTube channel. Little plug there. So I think that I should have asked my mom when I talked to her today. I think that I was like 9. I have a 6-year-old son, and he just lost his bottom 2 teeth, and his front, or his top front are loose, but they're not out yet. So when I knocked it out, it was fully, I had both adult teeth, and they were both like fully in. So I'm gonna guess that I was around like 8 or 9. And it was during the summer. I was at like a day summer camp type thing, and it was the 90s, the late 90s. Late 90s? No, because I was born in 87. So like early 90s. And I was wearing jelly shoes. So here's a picture of jelly shoes, if you don't know what they are. I really wanted them, and one of my parents got them for me, and they were really cool. I thought they were so pretty, you know, that clear plastic with the glitter, and, you know, as it turns out, they're not compatible with playgrounds. So I was running around on the playground with my friends, and I was running up the stairs, the stairs of this playground, jungle gym thing. And it was like that metal mesh, steel mesh that's coated in rubber. And I don't think it was like wet out or anything, but for some reason, as I was running up the stairs, my foot slipped and I fell with my mouth open like this, and hit my top jaw on the top step. And the impact, like, kind of like, I was like, whoa, what the hell just happened? I didn't know the word hell at that time. So I was like, what just happened? And I was really disoriented, and I looked at the top step, and there was this giant thing. I didn't know it was my tooth, because you don't normally see your teeth outside of the gum, and the entire thing came out clean. It's crazy. So I like realized then that there was blood pouring out of my mouth, and I put 2 and 2 together, and I was like, oh my God. And I freaked out. I don't think I was crying. I probably was, though. I don't remember crying because I was in like so much shock, but I'm pretty sure I was crying because I was a little girl. And like a parade of my friends like led me to the, I don't know, it was like the podium, not podium. What is that? What are those things called at parks? Pavilion, where like the camp counselors were and stuff. And they called my mom. They put my tooth, I don't think there was milk, so they put it in water. Like if you ever knock a tooth out, you're supposed to put it in milk. I don't understand the science behind that. It's supposed to like keep it alive or something. But my mom came and she rushed me to the dentist. I remember sitting in the waiting room, and there's other people there, and they were asking me questions, and I was and I had a straight up lisp, you know, because now like I sometimes will have a lisp with it out, but for the most part, like my mouth has sort of like become accustomed to the tooth missing, and I've found a way to speak pretty clearly without it in. But everyone thought it was like the funniest thing. I was like, you know, talking, telling jokes, and I don't know, having a good time being an entertainer. And when I went back, I guess their plan was to put it back in and put a brace and allow it to grow back, which it did, but they did not anesthetize me. They didn't give me anything beforehand. I do kind of remember them putting it in, but yeah, they basically just took the tooth and shoved it right back up into the hole where it was before. And my mom said that she could hear me screaming from the waiting room. So, because I remember, like, now that I'm thinking about it, I was in the chair and I was just like pushing myself away. Like, crazy. It's just crazy that they did that without any anesthesia or anything. But anyway, they put a little piece of like white plaster. I guess it's like maybe the same stuff that they use to glue braces on your teeth, but it was like it was literally like from here to here, just this little band that anchored my tooth to the one that was not knocked out, and it grew back. So there was a nice chunk of time there where it was fine, and you know, they they took the plaster off after, I think it was like, I don't know, 6 months to a year. And yeah, it was fine. As I got older, the tooth started to like bother me. Like I would get pain up here. And so eventually they did a root canal because they were like, well, we don't really know what to do. I think they took an x-ray and they saw that it was like becoming calcified through, which means that it was dead. And it did start to kind of change colors. It was kind of gray. So they did a root canal. It still hurt. So then they did a surgical root canal, which is where they cut you open up here and then they like go down through the root. And then they did another root canal and then another surgical root canal. So I had 2 regular root canals and 2 surgical root canals on this tooth from different dentists trying to save it. It still hurt, and then it got so much worse when I fell pregnant. Some people will say that your teeth get really screwed up when you're pregnant, and it's true. I never had like cavities my whole life or anything like that, but after I had a child, I ended up with plenty of cavities, and this tooth just got really screwed up. While I was pregnant, it was hurting really bad, and they noticed that there was an abscess. They took an x-ray and noted that there was an abscess up at where the root was, and they couldn't do anything safely while I was pregnant, so they prescribed antibiotics. And so I took those, and I kind of just like, it went away and it was fine for a while. And then I think when my son was about like 8 months old or maybe a year, it started to get really bad again. And it got so bad that there was like a sinus, which is so gross, but there was literally a hole up here where the abscess was draining from because it needed to come out. And I was like, this is fucking nasty. I need to get this taken care of. So I saw the orthodontist, or I don't remember who it was, but they were like, yeah, we can't do anything more to save this tooth. I'm like, can't you do another surgical root canal and just like clear it out? They're like, no, you've had 2, and most times insurances will only allow 1 per tooth, because if that doesn't work, then the tooth needs to be taken out. I don't understand it, but I was just like, this is my front tooth. What am I gonna do? And they're like, well, you just get an implant. I'm like, how much is an implant? They're, the whole thing, I think they gave me an estimate of about like $3,000, because, and I would have to pay that out of pocket. It's considered cosmetic, which is absolutely insane to me, that having all your teeth is considered like cosmetic. I had to oblige because I needed the tooth out, so I opted to have and this was like 2000, in the summer of 2016 or 2017. I don't remember, but yeah, it was in the summer, and the plan was to have the tooth removed and to have a bone graft, so that if I was gonna get the implant, they would anchor the implant into that bone, because the abscess started to eat away at the upper jaw. And because I was paying for this out of pocket, I opted to not be anesthetized for the procedure. They numbed me really well, but I was awake and it was horrifying. I do have some like PTSD from dental procedures. I'm definitely very anxious in the dentist chair, which really sucks. They extracted the tooth and it was really hard to get out, and I remember hearing all the sounds and feeling all the pressure and just like really feeling like I was gonna pass out. But they got it out. I actually still have it somewhere. I have the tooth somewhere. If I can find the picture of the tooth, I'll put it right here for you. If you're not seeing a picture right now, then I was unsuccessful in finding the picture. But yeah, I was like, I want to keep that bugger because it was a pain in the butt for a very long time of my life. Like, I just wonder, there really couldn't have been any other way to go about it. Like, there would have been no other way to do it, because I was so young when this happened that they wouldn't have been able to do an implant. It just wouldn't have worked because my bones were still growing and I was so small. So yeah, they, after they extracted the tooth, I think actually I got fitted for this before the extraction. This little guy costed me like 500 bucks. And it didn't actually fit very well after my procedure because like the shape of my mouth changed. So I actually, like this tooth, the little tooth thing here, when I would smile, it would look like it was floating. Or like if I was smiling and my lip fell down, it would get snagged on the tooth. So I don't recommend doing this, but nothing bad has happened to me yet. I used nail acrylic to kind of build up this little like gum. I don't know if you can see it there. The gum around the tooth itself to kind of, and it blends a little bit better with, so, you know, unless I'm like cheesing real hard and someone's really looking, they can't really tell. Or maybe they can tell and they don't say anything, I don't know. So yeah, I knocked it out when I was young, very young, but I only had it surgically removed fairly recently in the past like 5 to 7 years. And this flipper has been holding up very nicely for that time period. And yeah, I don't think I'll ever get an implant just because from my understanding, you need to have them replaced every so often. And I don't know if I've ever seen good implants on people. Like I can tell if someone hasn't had an implant, and I just worry that it would look really weird in the front of my mouth. I'm so used to this, it's comfortable, and it's like a fun party trick that I can just take it out when I want, you know? And if I like don't want people to talk to me, I won't wear makeup and I won't wear my tooth. Although I've had people tell me that I'm adorable without my tooth in. Or they like me better without I had a coworker. She was always like, I like you better with your tooth out. I'm just like, it's very sweet, but I'm gonna keep wearing it. So yeah, that is my story. I hope that answers your questions. If you have any more, you can certainly ask them below and I will do my best to answer them. But yeah, thank you for listening. And I don't know, I have a very short list of video ideas and the list is getting much smaller. So if you have any suggestions of things you want to see, things you want to hear from me, please drop them below in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, my goal is not to be like a YouTuber, but it's fun making these videos, you know. So I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.